Thanks for coming.
Is it Scott?
Scott.
Scott, it's Chelsea.
Chelsea,
it's
how are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
Well, first of all, happy Friday. Do you have any fun weekend plans?
I do. I am actually going skiing today, hence the 8-minute meeting.
Okay. Well, I want to make sure to get you on the slopes, but I do have to ask, who do you have winning your March Madness bracket?
You know, I mistakenly did fill out a bracket.
No.
Yeah, so first year in a while I haven't done so.
Oh, wow. Well, if you were to, who would you put on there?
It's a great question. Villanova or Kansas?
Well, I have Virginia, so we'll have to keep in touch and see who ends up winning.
Absolutely.
But we want to keep this meeting brief. I know you told me about 8 minutes. So I want to first off start out telling you a little bit about Qualtrics. I'm sure you're familiar with the company, but Qualtrics is all about experience management. We manage the 4 core principles to the customer or to the experience overall. That includes employee, brand, product, and customer experience. So we worked with companies like American Eagle, Neiman Marcus, and 1-800-CONTACTS to give them data to help them make successful decisions. And so, first of all, before we go too much further, could you tell me a little bit about yourself, how long you've been at the company, how data is involved in your job that you have right now?
Yeah, so I guess starting with my role, I've been in the role about 2 years now.
Okay.
And the first year was really just learning what was going on, learning what technology was being used, what the marketing spend was being allocated to, and how effective that spend was.
Yeah.
Building out a team is kind of an ongoing thing, but I have been able to bring in people that I worked with in other organizations that I love working with that are tremendous, and phasing out some low-performing people that just didn't make sense to have around. And then right now, the goal is to continue to build out our team. In fact, one of those pillars you mentioned, more of the customer aspect is what we're focused on.
And so from the information that you've already shared with me, well, first of all, your company is really impressive. You've been around for 10 years. You already have 500 employees, grossing $35 million in
Wow, you know a lot about us.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm sure that's not the case. But the reason why we're here is because from what I understand, there's been a struggle with online sales. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a struggle with online sales as it is knowing why and where we're spending our money, and if it's like thinking there's an ROI on our spend, right? So like online should be growing. It's not like we're struggling that it's going down, but relative to the amount of money we're throwing at it, it's not going up at the same rate. Does that make sense? So our ROI is just not near what we thought it was going to be.
So you're seeing more of an increase of your ROI in, like, let's say, brick and mortar stores?
Not even there, no.
Okay.
The ROI there is pretty much stagnant. It's really hard to grow our brick and mortar business given what's shifting in the industry right now.
Okay. So, Scott, what would you say the biggest point of this meeting is today? Like, what is your biggest holdback you're having to reaching out to your customers to improve their experience?
Yeah, well, something that caught my attention was just that you're more focused on the experience of the customer, and right now we don't have a be-all, say-all solution to that. We have a lot of ad hoc solutions, technologies, teams that are focused on different aspects of the customer journey, I guess you could call it. And it's just tying all that together is what we're struggling with.
Okay.
And it's the need to bring on 4 or 5 more people. I probably didn't mention that, but looking to put 4 or 5 more people on our team that are focused more on customer experience.
Okay. And so you talked about that you already have somewhat of a system in place. Could you walk me through what your current process is for measuring, for keeping the metrics of customer satisfaction?
Yeah, that's a great question. And unfortunately, I don't have an answer, and that's why I think I took the meeting, is we need to solve that.
Well, I think you're smart for taking the initiative to getting your doing your research and seeing what solutions there are.
We do something though. We have a sort of a customer feedback solution on our receipts in the brick and mortar stores, but it's not yet online.
Okay.
Where there's a chance to win a big gift card or something if you participate in the survey. We just see really abysmal response rates, and it's I don't know how trustworthy the data is, and if we're even asking the right questions.
Right. And so, if you don't mind me asking, what has the feedback been from the customers that you've been getting?
They were pretty demanding. we've noticed. And probably over the past 5 years, again, I've only been here 2, but over the past 5 years, we've seen that they're demanding a lot more from us. And it's not necessarily our products, because everyone can go buy our products online. If you browse the site, you can go get them everywhere.
You can.
It comes down to the experience of the customer. Are they loyalists? Do they like our brand? Do we, that sort of thing. And that's what we're really focused on.
Okay.
But we're a little late to the game, I feel like.
Okay, well, you're doing the work that needs to be done now, which is awesome. And we're here to help you catch up to that customer needs where you might feel like you might be lacking. One thing I would love to share with you today is we've worked with 1-800 contacts, like I've mentioned before.
Sure.
So something that we've done is that we got them on our customer experience program. They transformed themselves because they decided to focus on the customer to the point where they were sending candy bars in their boxes of contacts. They were sending pizza to a customer that said, "Oh, I feel like eating pizza today," and they really improved their customer experience. The result of that was that we increased their reorder rate by 3.8% and added an additional $135,000 of revenue monthly. And so what I've been talking to you about today is we have an all-encompassing core program. Here at Qualtrics, we've rebranded ourselves because a lot of companies like yourself, they focus on, they're very O data rich and X data poor. And what that means is they're tracking the sales, they're seeing when customers buy their product, but they're not finding the X to why it's happening. So here at Qualtrics, we focus on both. So we do focus on customer, brand, product, and employee, but today I want to focus on the customer because that's what it seems like is your biggest concern today.
Yeah, I would be interested at some point. I know there's some colleagues that deal with other experience like product, but brand is also under my umbrella. I think we're doing well here, but again, don't know for sure.
Right, you want to build your brand. Now that you've been around for 10 years, it's time to create the loyalty and have customers that are loyal to your brand.
Sure.
So with this customer experience, you talked about collecting data in the store, which is great. It's one of the touch points that we want to collect data from customers. So you can see there's all these touch points throughout the sales process that you interact with data. What we do here at Qualtrics is we collect the data from each of these touch points, get the customer feedback, and so we're not just getting the data, but giving you the ability to take action and to make customers happy. And ultimately, happy customers are going to spend more money, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we want to do for you. And so, Scott, I know we're a little short on time, and right now I'm giving you this crystal ball that's like, this is how we're going to give you a solution.
Sounds great.
But what I would love to do is schedule a demo next week with your team, with everyone else who would be using the Qualtrics platform, and tailor a solution that is specific to you and your company. Would Tuesday or Wednesday next week work best for you?
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Remind me your name again. Did you give me a card?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. No, you don't need to give me a card. I just want to make sure I can. Okay. Thanks, Chelsea. Appreciate it.
Do you want to keep this?
No, it's all yours.
Okay.
I think it's memorized all that, so.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.